Whew. Now this prediction that the end of the world is going to come in 2012 is bullcrap in my opinion. But anyway, let's get into this review. Now, I originally was going to do this review, I wasn't going to do this review originally, but looking at my movie mentions list video, included this movie and Alvin and the Chipmunks 2. Unfortunately, that would have been too long, and the last time I tried to upload it, it was removed. So I decided, wait, well, I'll do a couple of movie reviews to make more room for it. So anyway, 2012. Let's get into this movie. Now, this is the latest installment from Roland Emmerich. Now, this guy is pretty much made from disaster movies. He's done 10,000 BC for a start, because I haven't seen that, get that out of the way. Independence Day with aliens, which was pretty good. Mother Nature itself in The Day After Tomorrow, which I thought was a very good film as well. And now we have 2012. So here we go. Now, the plot of this movie, it's extremely basic. You don't need to know much about it going into it. So let's get into it. Pardon me. So, plot of 2012. It basically centers around John Cusack's character, as he wants to try and become a better parent to his children, and he's not having much of a relationship at all. His job's stuck. He's not having the best of lives. So what happens is that these predictions start coming in about these solar flares that are pretty much going to be a threat to humankind. What happens though, he ends up trying to go on a camping trip with them, with his children. No, John Cusack, you're not doing that anymore. You're going to try, hey, let's go for the ultimate adventure. Avoid solar flares and destruction. That's the basic plot for the rest of the movie, if they will survive literally the end of the world. So, pros and cons about the film, coming your way. Now, pros about the film. These special effects are spectacular here. The special effects, particularly the one sequence where they're flying involving an airplane and whatnot, you know, that was a pretty cool sequence to see all this destruction and shit flying around. Literally, this is how it played out. Oh, come on, trying to avoid all this lot. Whoa, shit! Whoa. Like, literally, that's the reaction I got. Whoa, from these special effects. Other pros about the film. Acting, surprisingly, was good. John Cusack, I haven't really seen him in much before, and he did a pretty good job here. He pretty much carried the whole movie. Thandie Newton also in this movie, because I can only remember certain actors' voices at the top of my head. And Thandie Newton was a pretty good job, although she was kind of sidelined a bit too much. Everyone else in the movie I think was pretty well done as well, and the direction of the movie was pretty well done. Special effects. Apart from the special effects, which is pretty much taking up most of this review, taking up most of this movie, apart from that, the pacing of the movie isn't exactly much of a problem. You know, I mean, admittedly the film is a bit too long, but some sequences I thought were really awesome. The pacing, like I said right now, the pacing of the film is pretty well done. For 2.5 hours after it kicks off, it does really continue its pace towards the end. You know, it really does keep you, it kept me engaged enough. The fact is that I actually saw Twilight New Moon earlier in the day, and if you see my review for that movie, you will know that I wasn't really that keen on it. Well, I didn't hate it, I came pretty close to hating it. This movie easily made up for it. I think that this movie is definitely the better of the two films, and it did actually, you know, like I say, I think that unlike New Moon, I thought 2012 actually had a plot, and it actually had a goal, an achievement it was trying to do. So I can see what Roland Emmerich was trying to do here, and I've heard apparently this is his last disaster movie. Now, since I'm going to probably either drag in this review too much, I can't think of much else to say about the positives, let's get into the negatives. The negatives about this movie, the script in this movie isn't exactly well written. It pretty much doesn't do much requirement to write scenes where you're just basically going with all shit flying around at you. So there you go. But script wasn't very well written, and the first half hour of the movie is kind of atrocious. It really is painstakingly slow. Once it kicks off, it's really good, but it's just getting there. That's the problem. The other problem I had about this movie, it's 2.5 hours long. You know, admittedly, does it have to be that long? Yes, even though special effects are cool, you can get sick of them after a while. Okay, other negatives about the film. Some situations just really peed me off in this movie. Like, there was one situation where they're walking through the cloud, walking through the mountains of an unknown location. I can't remember. But, literally, they're walking through the mountains, and this random group, if I remember correctly, this random group of people meet them or something, I can't remember. I'm thinking, what the hell's that got to do with the story? I could be wrong, unless it's me making it up. Moving on. Other things I didn't like about the film, the ending did kind of... Well, the ending, I will give credit for it not being predictable, but it seemed a little bit Hollywood-ish ending. You know, I'm thinking, what, WTF? You know. But, look, overall, 2012 is not the abomination that I thought it was going to be. It definitely has a premise of a plot. It definitely has some really awesome special effects. Despite a pretty poor script, the acting, admittedly, was pretty good. I surprisingly really enjoyed this movie. But then again, in comparison to Twilight New Moon, it's not that hard to really enjoy this more. But it's the mother of all disaster movies, I think so. And, you know, it's definitely not a 10 out of 10 or a 5 out of 5. 4 out of 5, I think, is a suitable grade. It is actually a very good movie. It's not fantastic, I didn't love it, but I did really like it. So, but, you know, by the time this review is up now, of course, it'll have finished in theatres, and when it comes out on DVD, give it a rental. You probably will be impressed. If you're going to see it, just see it for the special effects. So until next time, YouTube, Michael Bowers, signing out. Don't try and cause Mother Nature to cause the end of the world. Seriously, be a bad idea.